morning. And as we come together this morning, we know that nothing happens by chance, that we are all here by divine appointment. So as we acknowledge our viewing audience, we also welcome you. This is the community that makes this possible. I acknowledge Julian Paul Hernandez, who is our videographer, faithfully here every Sunday. I wanted to put this out to our greater Facebook and World Wide Web community, how very grateful we are to be here at the Camelot Theater every Sunday, to be supported in putting out this word, because these are universal laws. Everyone is using them, whether they are aware of it or not. Our theme for the month is about the energy of blessings. Our topic today is spiritual laws, and to acknowledge that each and every one of us, we are using these spiritual laws, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. We had two wonderful speakers that were recorded prior to my coming on, and that was that they discovered, Shelley Ames and Mark Commando discovered that it is within. Jesus, who became the Christ, said you can low here, you can low there. What that means is you can look there, you can look everywhere, but the kingdom of God is within you. It is not out there someplace. We wear ourselves out trying to find it out there, trying to please people, places, and things outside of ourselves. But to acknowledge that we are created in the image and likeness of God, that it is not only good, we are told that it is what? Very good. This is who we are. Now there's a wonderful verse, I love it, and you can see that I have been adorned on our 10th anniversary for the wonderful Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide. Carl Keith, who is visiting his grandson today, presented this to me at our 10th anniversary, and I love it because rainbows are very special. The Bible states, when the rainbow appears, I'll remember the everlasting covenant between me and all living beings. It is a symbol of oneness. The ancient Hopi talked about the rainbow tribe, that rainbow of oneness, the energy that allows us to be who we are, coming together and acknowledging the ground of being, which is our higher power, our God, whatever we conceive our God to be. Now, Dr. Deepak Chopra, who talks about the 7 spiritual laws of the universe, talks about the law of potentiality, pure potentiality, which Dr. Ernest Holmes called the law of undifferentiated substance, the unmanifest to the manifest. What is it that we are manifesting in our lives? It's all coming up, it's showing up so that we can embrace it, we can learn, and we can grow, and we can unfold through it. It's amazing how that works. And Reverend Linda sent something out on the internet yesterday, and it was the teachings of Abraham. And Jerry and Esther Hicks began channeling Abraham several years ago. And it's an entity. It's like the Seth books, where they are channeling these masters that come through. And this one happened to be on the law of attraction and gay rights. And she was with a large audience, and she opened it up for questions. And a woman came forward and she said, I am one of the 11 million people on the planet that feels disassociated, that feels passed over, that I am wealthy, I am in a 22-year relationship with the love of my life, my soulmate, that happens to be another woman. And yet, we cannot marry, and yet the Pope looks down on us. She said, and yet 37 states, say that we can't marry, and yet we feel this love and this energy. She said, and so at that, Abraham interrupted and said, what is a piece of paper? And she said, well, it's not just about the piece of paper. It's about the rights that we want to feel entitled to, and not feel that when we walk into a room that 60% of the population thinks we're immoral. And Abraham came forth in universal truth. and said, why would you put yourself in that position? Yes, she said, you can quote all these numbers, the 60%, the 37 states, all of that. But I believe that you were not only born this way, and you can say, yes, I was born this way, you intended it to be this way. Boy, I want you to know, I had God bumps when she said that. You intended it to be this way. We are not at the effect of anything. We choose our parents. We choose the lessons. We choose what we're going to experience. We choose gay or straight or tall or short or heavy, you know, generous of build, my friend tells me. Generous of build and short to the ground. We choose it all. When we intend it, it opens this amazing space of responsibility. That the law of cause and effect, saying, I take responsibility for my life. That I am free. And she said, but you know, but the government, she butt in and said, but the government and the Social Security, she goes, why do you want to, that pittance, Social Security? When you could be making thousands. And she said, well, I am very wealthy. I don't depend on Social Security. And she said, take yourself, don't pinch the vortex. Expand the vortex. Acknowledge that you intend to be in the world, to live your life. And she said, well, you know, if I'm going to give this speech, what would I say? She said, I say, I'm living my dream. I'm living my life from the highest point of view. Don't try to persuade others, seeing things the way that you see them. That takes so much energy. Live your life. Be the energy that you want to be in the world. Allow your light to so shine that others will see it and they will get it. They will get who you are. She said, it's a long process. She said, it's a very long process. And I thought to myself, yes, it is a long process in terms of time. However, when we take ourselves out of the relative world of time and judgments and looking outside of ourselves, and we place ourselves within the law of individual selection, which is a universal law, we come from cause. We come from that place of knowing who we are. When we come from that place of knowing who we are, the universe responds in kind. Not everyone is going to agree with us. I had people unfriend me on Facebook when I put all about, you know, our Gay Pride Sunday and all of that. And I wrote and said, for all of you who unfriended me, we are one. I have absolutely drawn the larger circle and included you in this love. We are one. Through this oneness do we live and move and have our being. We come into this earth school. Did you get it? This is an earth school. Some of us come in with dependencies and addictions, and I think we all have addictions. We're all a little obsessive compulsive about some stuff. My daughter said, Mother, of all the things I inherited from you is when you lose something and you go into that space and you go for 24 hours till you find it. I inherited that. I said, I'm learning to let that go, actually. I'm learning to let that go. In other words, there's nothing lost in the universe, and either are we. We are the experience God is having. For some it's a gay one, for some it's a straight one, for some it's one that has physical challenges, for others it's those that are in the helping, serving arts, for others it's their particular energy. It's all part of this beautiful collective, and I loved what Abraham said. Abraham said, celebrate your diversity. Who wants to be homogenous? How very boring is that? And she said, when I walk into a room and I can, you know, people don't like me, and she says, well, they don't like themselves either. That's right. That's where that comes from. It comes from that place within us. That when we are open and all-inclusive, there is such an energy, such a miraculous energy that goes along with that. If we're depressed about our life, we need to start a gratitude list. We need to go within. We need to meditate. We need to acknowledge that this pure potentiality is going to go in the direction that we want it to go. That we are learning and we are growing and we are unfolding in miraculous ways every single day of our life. That we're creating it through our thoughts. Thoughts are things Ernest Holmes said, and words are molds. And that when we get, that energy at the throat center, remember that which we utter becomes the outer. That we need to stand porter at the gate of our conscious mind, allowing only those things in that serve, to feel good about ourselves. And when we have these moments, and everybody, we all have these moments. Linda said that her brother was an alcoholic, and every time he got a DUI and pulled over by the police, he goes, well, my sister's a lesbian. She ruined my life. I said, see how you served him. Wow, fantastic. We're so glad that you could serve him. And when I would go to court for my alcoholic sister, for her DUIs, and I would say we were raised in an alcoholic family. She's a product of her environment. The judge always asked one question, every judge, why aren't you like your sister? And I said, because I realized early on that I could make other choices. And I made them. And when we make other choices in our lives, the universe unfolds in miraculous and amazing ways. I got into this way of life at 22 years old, took Science of Mind 1, and began realizing that it doesn't have to be the way that it was. That I could become whole, perfect, and complete. And people say, well, if you're into perfectionism, no. Whole, perfect, and complete is the prototype of God consciousness. Perfectionism is the ego stuff that always is, back there chattering, saying, you didn't get it right again. No, I am whole, perfect, and complete on a DNA cellular level. That my life is unfolding in miraculous, wonderful ways. That I trust that the universe is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And that those moments of challenge, those moments where we think, gosh, how am I going to, reckon with all of this, is the moment we need to let go, is the moment to say, I of myself can do nothing. It is the energy within that does the work. I need to get my ego out of the way. Robert Frost said an interesting thing. He said, I get up in the morning, I make up my bed, and then I make up my mind. When I'm making up my bed in the morning, I said, and I'm making up my mind, this is a good day. This is a great day. I open to it. I embrace it. I surrender to it. I acknowledge that our lives are amazing with all the experiences and all of the suffering that many of us have gone through until we come out on the other side of that. On our Facebook presence, every Monday is Miracle Monday. We just have people put in their initials of who they want the miracle for, or themselves perhaps. Because that takes us out of the third dimensional thinking into a higher realm, into the spiritual realm, into the fourth and fifth, sixth and seventh dimensions that allow us to call in the angels, the archangels, and all enlightened beings, to get all our support. And I don't know about you, but I love having the support of angels. I'm all for having friends in high places. And with that being said, to open to the angels that are right to the left of me and to the right of me and before me, that are part of our community, all the angels that are here, that the angels that are out there in the world at whatever given moment. And when we understand this, and with these spiritual laws of cause and effect, that what we put into the law of mind is going to come back to us. The Bible states, be not deceived. God is not mocked. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. And what that means is, what we're putting in, we're going to get out. What goes around, what comes around. I mean, it truly, truly does. That there is a law of karma. It is the law of cause and effect. There is a law of least resistance. That law of least resistance is, hey, when I'm efforting and I'm trying to make it all work, I realize, hey, I need to step back and just let God do what God does best. I'm not going to push the river up. I'm going to now let go. That's my signal. When I'm efforting and I'm not experiencing joy, I just have to let go. That is like a trigger symbol for me, to let go and let God, because I of myself can't do it. God knows I've tried, but my energy ain't going to do it. I got to call in my friends in high places. I got to call in those energies that are going to assist and support, that are always there for us. I call it our invisible means of support. And we have our little wonderful rituals also. There was a Chinese man, and he was at a grave, and he brought a bowl of rice. And then he brought a beautiful little teapot, and he set it down, and he did his prayers. And there was a gentleman over at another grave, and he looked over and saw this going on and kind of rolled his eyes and thought, well, he said, so what time are your ancestors going to come out and eat the rice and drink the tea? He said, about the same time yours come out to smell flowers. That we have our own little rituals. These rituals, they touch our heart. We do it for ourselves. And as we do it for ourselves, something great and wonderful goes on with that. As we open to the spiritual realm, as we acknowledge that we let go, that the law of least resistance allows us, more is not necessarily better. Sometimes less is more. And when we acknowledge together the law of Dharma, the law of our purpose, I believe, is to know God better by means of one another. It is a spiritual ground of being, wherever we are on the planet, wherever we go. And I see people at the grocery store, and they're working, and they're very joyous. And I see people at the gas station, and they're very joyous. And I kind of look around, and I think to myself, this is a pretty wonderful and amazing place that we live in. I'm so grateful to be alive at this time. I'm grateful for the challenges in my life and the opportunity to move through them. I'm grateful for these spiritual laws that allow us to know gay or straight, tall or short, heavy and generous of build or thin, that we are all one. Do you agree? We are all one. So I'd like everybody to stand, and I want us to face the camera, and I want us to say, and this is something that we do at Wednesday Night Live, but I'm changing it today. I'm changing it to, I love myself and give it away. So embrace yourself and say, I love myself, and then we open up, and as we open our embrace, I love myself and give it away. So we're saying together, I love myself and give it away. Again, I love myself and give it away. I love myself and give it away. Because it is a brand new day, and it's our day, it's our life, and we are going what? Higher yet. Where are we going? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. And so it is. God bless you. I love you. And it's a great, wonderful day, isn't it? Yes, it is.